I've noticed on this, folks, some commentators on cable and elsewhere are saying that there are some victories to celebrate in this judge's decision. We had a horrible decision in terms of the rule of law. Politically, I think the decision yesterday in Arizona by that Clinton appointee is just another nail in the coffin politically the Democrats come November. So politically, yeah, you can see. But legally, as far as the rule of law is concerned, this is a disaster. It is an outrage. And we got people saying, well, there's some victories to celebrate in here. There are some positives. There's some upsides here. Example, they're saying that the judge let stand for now the employer sanctions. Big whoop. It doesn't matter because you can't. I mean, you want to don't ask, don't tell. This is it. It's not in the military. This law, as it stands now in Arizona, is don't ask, don't tell. Here we have a federal judge who refused to allow the state of Arizona to implement its law, which complements federal law, by striking at the heart of the law, including the ability of state and local law enforcement to ask individuals who are detained or questioned for other possible offenses, which is something that still gets demagogued in this, whether they are here legally or not, and to require aliens to carry papers with them. That's been struck down. You can go find positives all you want, but there aren't any. The guts of this have been taken out of it. You want to go try to find positives for whatever reason. If we can't call things what they are, we're not going to have a chance here to get rid of some of these things. There aren't any positives here, not as far as the rule of law is concerned. Now, the judge said that this might create due process issues and an undue burden for the federal government and law enforcement to enforce their own law. We don't have the resources. She completely ignored, and I've talked to legal beagles about this, the judge completely ignored the Supreme Court's own standard for issuing a stay. So, in other words, in the name of upholding the law, she defied the law. And we're supposed to claim this is a partial victory? There is no victory when a federal judge refuses to uphold the law, whether a part of it or all of it, under circumstances like this. And to claim partial victory, I don't know what the objective is here. To claim partial victory is to give credit where credit is not due. Sometimes the people on our side of the aisle baffle me more than the people on the left, because I totally understand the people on the left. From the United States federal website, the welcome guide to the United States on page 8, as a permanent resident, it is your responsibility to obey all federal, state, and local laws, except in Arizona. Pay federal, state, and local income taxes, except in Arizona. Register with the Selective Service if you're a male between 18 and 26. See page 11 for instructions. All this is true except if you are illegal in Arizona. You are a permanent resident required to maintain your immigration status, except in Arizona. And you are required to carry proof of your permanent resident status at all times, except in Arizona. And by extension, every other state now, theoretically. If you can't preempt federal law anywhere else, then we in big doo-doo, heap big doo-doo. Heritage Foundation, a great piece of the morning call today, Morning Bell, surviving the Obama assault on the rule of law. New York Times has a big story about this today, and they're somewhat accurate about it on the political side. But hours after yesterday's decision by the Judge Susan Bolton to preemptively stop the enforcement of Arizona's immigration enforcement law, Thomas Sands, president of the Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund, told the New York Times this is a warning to any other jurisdiction, just in case the message. from the Obama administration and its leftist allies was not clear. Obama appointee, U.S. Attorney Dennis Burke, told the AP, surely it is going to make states pause and consider how they're drafting legislation and how it fits in a constitutional framework. As I said yesterday, this is judicial activism, textbook case, rewrote the Arizona law to her own, followed the spin of the media, followed the spin of the ACLU, followed the spin, not the law, of the federal government, invented her own facts, and ignored clear federal law. President Jimmy Carter appointee, immigration law professor at Yale, Peter Schuck, told the New York Times she rushed to judgment in a way that I can only assume reflects a lot of pressure from the federal government to get this case resolved quickly. The Obama administration, I mean, the Yale law professor comes out against a Clinton-appointed federal judge. Folks, momentous. The Obama regime's case against Arizona sought to preemptively stop enforcement of Arizona's new immigration law. The legal term for this is facial challenge. Federal precedent is clear. Facial challenges must be careful not to go beyond the statute's facial requirements and speculate about hypothetical or imaginary cases, but that's just what the judge did. Well, this could lead to X, and it might cause Y to happen, and if that happens, then Z might happen. A bunch of hypotheticals. A bunch of hypothetical circumstances led the judge to rule that the guts of a law are unenforceable, unconstitutional. Joe Arpaio, Maricopa County Sheriff, on CNN last night, John King said the federal government cites statistics. Says, you know, there are more guys on the border than ever before. There's less major crime along the border than ever before. This is an overreaction you people are having.
Why don't they just say, thank you, Sheriff? Let's join forces. We cannot do this job alone. We need local law enforcement to work together. The feds can't do this job alone. They know it. The people know it. But why are they fighting us? Why don't we join together? We go after bank robberies, federal. We go after guns, ATF. We do all these other federal laws. But why is it this one law, this other federal law, causes so much controversy from the White House all the way down to the streets of Phoenix? I don't understand that.
Yes, he does understand it, and he'll explain it here in the next soundbite. He's got a great point here. You listen to that answer carefully. It's the same thing Obama's doing with the economy. If he really wanted to fix it, he would partner with business. If he really wanted to stop the oil leak in the Gulf, he would have partnered with BP. If he really wanted to secure the border, he would partner with Arizona. After all, we're one country. We have the same objective. No, we don't. The objectives of 70 to 80% of the people are not the objectives of this regime. This regime's objectives are all political. They're all about voter registration. It's all about amnesty. It's all about undocumented Democrats becoming documented so they can go out there and vote for Democrats from Obama on down. Pure and simple. But it's a great point from the sheriff. Why are we in Arizona the enemy? Why aren't the people crossing the border dragging drugs and bodies and committing all kinds of crime? Why aren't they the enemy? Why are we in Arizona the enemy of our own government? Why is our own government governing against our will? Why does our own government partner with others opposed to our own national and state self-interest? A great, great question. Because Obama's agenda is not Arizona's. Obama's agenda is not the agenda of 70 to 80% of the people of the country. John King said, well, what do you think the answer is, Sheriff? I mean, you say, so much controversy from the White House all the way down to the streets of Phoenix. We partner on every other crime. Why not this? I don't understand it. Well, what do you think the answer is, Sheriff?
I'll tell you what the answer is. They want amnesty. Employers want to keep hiring cheap labor, and the politicians want to make sure they get the Hispanic vote. Doesn't everybody know that?
Doesn't everybody know that? Probably was news to the people at CNN.